Hello. Black Bean Simpson here. It's been a moment. So, this is going to be about the animal comment. Comment, I should say. The animal comment that President Trump made. It's extremely laughable that the left are just going, they're going bonkers about it. This is less of a word than when he called the immigrants rapists that they were claiming. When he was actually, again, calling the bad ones or the MS13 gang members or just the bad people that are being led into the country. It's extremely laughable because these people are trying to use that whole strategy again that he used bad words. Oh no. These people are just as much of a human being as any of us. Well, if that's the case, why don't you let them live with you? Why don't you open your gated community, Nancy Pelosi, and let them on in and see how wonderful they are and how much value they bring to your community. It's not just laughable, it's like repulsive how these people will align themselves with pedophiles, practically, murderous, rapists, scumbags. It amazes me. It amazes me that they allow themselves to get stooped that low just to secure some votes. See, the reason why the left or the politicians on the left are really hitting hard on this is because they want to look good to the Hispanic community. Because at the moment, the Democrats, they know they're losing their power within this country with the domestic population that's here. The domestic population is sick and tired of all these false promises and all these programs are supposed to help, but yet create catastrophic problems. And the politicians never want to face up to them. They never want to be like, yep, that move was a bad move. They just won't do it. They're like, no, we just need more fun. We need to be harder on it. We need to be more persistent. It's like, so being persistently end up killing people or destroying families or just name it. That's the right way of going about things to get your. I mean, they talk about these leftists. They talk about how some people are all about utopia, like how when they talk about like volunteeristic societies that have zero government. That's a utopia. Like, no, that's not a utopia. The utopia, it's not even aiming for a utopia. But hell, these people, these leftists, they'll claim that they're not aiming for utopia, but if you hear what they talk about, everybody's equal. Everybody deserves the equal outcome. Like, everybody deserves a universal pay. Like, all those are utopian, like, fucking ideologies. Thinking that everybody deserves the same wage, no matter what they do, no matter what they have done, no matter the actual value that they bring to a company. Like, never mind that. And then to think that everybody deserves an education. Like, we know for a fact that education doesn't benefit everyone. But yet, why should everybody have that equal outcome of that? That to me is just fucking stupid. Like, these people are they're just. But I'll go back to the animal comment. So Nancy Pelosi, all these people, they're just trying to use this rhetoric to get the Hispanic vote on their side. They think that, they must really think that the whole Hispanic community is MS13. That's how insulting these politicians are. These politicians are so low in their thinking. They're so brainless about society and community and actual reality. It's just like, who in the right mind will try to sit there and say, well, actually, there's a whole bunch of media people who are trying to say MS13 are not animals and that. But then you have politicians that are just trying to say that President Trump was just throwing that label in general at all immigrants or all Hispanic people, which any, rational thinking person can come to the conclusion that he was in context talking about MS13, since that's what the whole conversation was about the gang members coming over and murdering and killing and raping and destroying and just traumatizing the citizens of the United States. This is why he used the word animal. But because of that, these politicians like Nancy Pelosi think they can use this rhetoric, this essentially just a second of a clip, this little tiny bit of what was being said, and act like he was again saying that all immigrants are this way. So, which is fascinating. These people are literally trying to say that President Trump is dehumanizing the immigrants or MS13 or whoever fuck that he that they want to make him sound like he was talking about. All right. It's amazing. It amazes me. These people will again stoop that low, but at the same time call for abortion. I mean, Nancy Pelosi came out and was like, I can't. Of course, I'm driving, so I'm not really off the top of my head. It's something like, what was the words used? Oh well, essentially, these people have the right, or all children and all humans are God's children, essentially something like that, divine or divinity or something. And if she thinks that, what the hell is she doing supporting abortion? If she thinks all human beings deserve not to be called animals, not to be just thrown off to the wayside, why in the hell is she supporting abortion? I get it. That's one of the leftist ideologies. That's, if you don't support that, then you're not a real leftist. If you don't support the killings of babies in the name of her choice, her body, her choice, that's, you're not a real leftist. That's all extremists these people are. They're fucking extreme. Like I never imagined in my early 20s that I would ever be here speaking through this mic. Like, I never imagined myself realizing that. I never knew how low people can go when it comes to these things, just to acquire votes, just to acquire power. Like anybody who listened to that speech that President Trump I don't really know that he's not talking about all immigrants, not all Hispanics. He's talking about MS13. So it's astonishing me too that these people think they could tell us what we heard. So maybe that's not their goal. Maybe their goal is hopefully that you are a low info person that likes to acquire their information only through these outlets, these propaganda, these straight up slandering scumlords. Like, I don't know what else to call them. They're not, Nancy Pelosi is not a fucking, she's an animal herself. She's a whole different, another animal. She's like a parasite animal. And she will use the shit out of immigrants. She will use the shit out of blacks. She will use the shit out of anybody that she can sink her fucking tentacles deep into. Just to hopefully maintain her power. I mean, someone who she has millions of dollars. She's worth a lot of fucking money. And the question is, how? Who are you to have so much wealth for not providing any value really to this country? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she invented something. Maybe she writes books all day that help people or support. I don't think so. I've never heard of it. So it's really questionable how she acquired her millions and millions of dollars. Like most politicians, they go in, well, not most, but a lot of politicians, they go in essentially poor, or at least, medium, size income, or even have only a few, like $100,000 in their bank, and then they get out and they're like fucking multimillionaires. It's like, how? How do you become multimillionaires just by sitting in a seat for 10 years? Like, I don't get that. I just don't get that. It's not even about honor anymore when it comes to a lot of these positions. It's just about the power that you can gain and benefit from, and the monetary gain that you can benefit from. I swear that's what most of these politicians go in for. They don't go in for actually trying to help people or save people from, gang members like MS13. In fact, a lot of these people think that getting support of the MS13 through the Hispanic community or through any other minority group that they consider, like if they can get their hands into them, they're going to have some power and monetary gain from it. So back to the animal comment, the dehumanizing. So here's Nancy, and here's all these reporters talking about how dehumanizing Trump is to these groups of people. Oh, that's interesting how you bring that up. The fact that you guys say that he shouldn't be doing that, but yet you guys dehumanize him at every fucking turn that they can. I mean, by calling him an idiot, by calling him unstable, by calling him worse or just as bad as Hitler. I mean, they just go on and on of all the derogatory shit that they've called or said or try to bring up on Trump. And these same people are going to sit there and say, he should be dehumanizing people. These are all double standard motherfuckers, these people are. These people are just they're just outrageous. They're literally outrageous. But that's, I think that's about all I had. Yeah, I think we know who the real inhuman people are, and they're mostly on the left.